Hey, how's it going, Coach? I wanted to go ahead and show you some film. Normally, I do the whole video thing, but I want to make it quick with the phone. But this is Natalia Silva. She's from Lamar, which is a D1 JUCO. She's a sophomore, 6 foot tall. She is an international player. However, she is aware that we don't offer full rides for international players, and she still wants to stay in contact. When breaking down her film, I was able to find quite a bit. I only did the first half of this game, but there's definitely a lot more positive than negative. The negatives are going to be her boxing out, her post defense, and reading the help defender. And then her positive is going to be offensive ball or off ball movement, which also shows, high IQ and everything like that on offense. Her hustle, and then ball handling, which is kind of surprising for a 6 foot tall, but she is doing really well at it. All right, so to start illustrating her high IQ offensive ball or off ball movement, here, let me pause the audio. So in this case here, she ends up identifying, right, that she has the advantage, and the video is skipping. All right, I had to restart it. Oh my God, it's gonna do it again. Okay, either way, she ends up identifying that she has the lane and everything. She goes for it, doesn't get the ball, makes herself open and everything, but it continues. Once she does get the ball, she sees that she doesn't have the advantage and everything like that, but she does notice that she's got an advantage here, so she ends up setting her up, giving it a little go, and then perfect entry. Here we see her constantly moving, making sure that she's visible, giving passing lanes, creating passing lanes, not staying in the middle, not clogging up the lane and everything like that, but again, constantly moving. Here we are again, off ball. Just constantly moving, getting into position, creating a passing lane, not clogging up the lane. Here we are again. She's creating a passing lane, sees that her teammate is there, moves out of the way, but then immediately sees she's shooting, goes in, and then once she notices, hey, I'm in scoring position, I have the advantage, I've got to go straight up. Doesn't hesitate, goes for it. Here she is, reading, notices the entry pass happens, sees the entire open lane here, goes for high-low, notices the pass isn't coming, so she's not going to go in and clog it up. She's going to go ahead and give her room, but still be there in case she gets a rebound or a pass or anything like that. So here we have both off-ball movement and her kind of showing her athleticism. Again, she's 6 foot tall, so sets up her defender, goes back door, doesn't get it, doesn't pout about it, doesn't start smacking her hands, clapping her hands, asking for a ball or anything. Nope, she moves, continues, reads the defense, sees the gap, attacks. Doesn't finish, but attacked, made the right read. All right, so this one you really have to look closely to see what it is that she's reading and why she's taking the shot, and I absolutely love it. So she identifies she has a big on her and everything like that. She's getting a screen. She's not someone that just shoots shots. She hasn't been shooting unless she has an open shot or is in rhythm. She notices that the big takes that step back, takes the shot. They give you the room, you take the shot. Now, her skill isn't quite there yet for taking the shot, but I love the fact that she was able to make that read. So my job as a coach, of course, would be to get that skill to where it needs to be. All right, this is part 2, because the other one was already too long. So here we are. Anytime that you start seeing them press the guards, they'll bring her up, and she does a pretty good job of bringing up the ball. Of course, here there's no pressure, but I have other examples where she does have pressure. Here we are again, bringing up the ball. Guards are guarded. She did this multiple times throughout the game. All right, here's an example where she actually does have pressure on her when she does bring up the ball. Does a good job at reading it, continues. Yeah, gets called for I guess she extended the arm a little too much. Here's another example where she has pressure, is able to keep her poised, and then get the entry pass. It's a good read there too. So if you notice, the big is getting position. She's able to read it, takes advantage of her height difference. All right, then we got a situation where she's catching, attacking, reading, and then seeing numbers. So she attacks right as she shoots. She already knows where she's going and everything like that. Ends up identifying the defenders, closing her off. Picks up the dribble with intent to the mismatch right down low. So I'm not saying she's a point forward necessarily, but in the situation where she does need to bring the ball up or we're getting pressed by too to our guards and everything like that. She's capable of doing it. And then depending on how much more she works on it on the off season, she might be an actual offensive threat with the ball. Part 3. All right, so her coach is talking about how she's always moving, or she's always communicating and everything like that, which you see her. Saw her do it multiple times in the game. We got another one here. Bucket's been scored. Here she is directing traffic already. All right, before I start talking about the negatives, I want to highlight also something that I see a lot of potential in, because her defense is not very good, but she has a lot more athleticism than one might think and everything. Multiple times I see her baiting people into bad passes. Multiple times. Here we are again in an inbound play this time, where she just kind of like baits it. She's like, oh yeah, no, I don't see it, blah, blah, blah. And then just last second, she has a more athleticism than I thought she did. And then again, just going back to this one where I was talking about baiting her into that back cut. And that's a guard that was on her. We've got a situation where she gets big, stays big. Just something that I see a lot of bigs here in that situation. They just, I don't know what it is. They can't ever get a tip or whatever the case is. She stays on her feet the whole time and is able to just kind of get big, stay big. And the last example of a really good play that I saw from her was right here. It's kind of open court, more or less, kind of a breakaway. And she's got one-on-one with the guard up here. A lot of bigs and a lot of wings, we end up seeing them, or a lot of players in general, we see them leave the ground and everything. She gets big, stays disciplined, stays on the floor. With her shot, I got to see a lot more of it to see how she actually shoots and how consistent she can be and everything. But she's definitely better when she doesn't think about it. Just catch and shoot, which I guess you could say about any player. Here we are, once again, catching. And that's why I don't know, I'd have to see more. Some potential there. I like her mentality better than the actual skills that she has when it comes to shooting. But there's potential there. All right, part 4, and this is where we're gonna talk about the negative, and I'm gonna talk about the biggest negative to start off, her boxing out, her non-existent boxing out. Here we are again. Nothing, she gets boxed out while we're on defense. Very next possession, an even bigger example right here. Not only does she end up losing the battle, but yeah. Here we are again. Shot goes up. Nothing. She's in the block right now. Nothing. No boxing out going on. Of course, a lot of times you might not see that say anything, but yes, you might not have lost anything on that possession because the shot went in, but boxing out did not happen. So, not good. So this was the one time that she ended up being responsible for the middle down here. They're, I believe, in the zone and everything like that. You could just see maybe she's not aware of it, I'm guessing, the importance of fighting early. So she's losing this battle from the start. She's giving up position the whole time, giving up position. She's not getting low. She's not really fighting. And I think she's just not, and of course it skipped again. She's just not used to fighting in the low post and everything like that. But with the boxing out and playing in the low post, I think that's something that, putting drills together for her and everything like that to learn the importance of it, she'll be able to play a lot better down there. That's why I'm not really too concerned about, even though it's a really big thing, the boxing out is a huge thing. I think it's something that she can definitely do better, because I don't worry about her effort or her hustle. So she can definitely learn to do better at it and then focus on it a little bit more. So I'm not worried about that. Part 5, this one should be quick. It's going to be about her lateral movement, which I don't think she does a very good job at staying in front of guards up here and everything. She tends to struggle quite a bit. Talked to her coach and her about the knee brace itself. She didn't have an injury anytime soon or anything like that, so it's not that. But yeah, no, she definitely struggles to stay in front of quicker guards when she's up in the perimeter. And then we see it right here as well. She's getting blown by really quickly and everything like that. Now, given her size, I can understand to a certain extent of it and everything like that. But I think what's happening is she's not realizing how tall she is and how long she is. So she's coming up a lot further than she needs to guard some of these players and everything like that. So some mobility drills, lateral movement drills, and everything like that, and her understanding the length that she has and the threat that it possesses on guards out here in the perimeter can also help fix that, or at least help it, because obviously she's not going to be able to stay in front of everybody, but there's still potential to fix that. Part 5, I think. I don't know where I'm at anymore. Coach Lewis was telling me that they have her inbound because she is one of the best passers that they have. She does struggle here and there with her turnovers, and we can see it here. A little bit too much of a lob. Here's another turnover. This one, she's not doing a good job at reading the help defender. She's just focusing on the primary defender not being there. And then I can't remember. I guess I didn't write them down. I can't remember where they are. But she is not good at being the primary ball handler on the pick, on getting screens and everything like that, on ball screens while she's the ball handler. Okay, I actually found one of them. I think there was 3. But she'll get a screen and she's too committed to the pass instead of reading. She's too committed to the pass. There was another one that she had up here. I think it was at the beginning of the game. Actually, hold on. Yep, at the very start of the game, she's bringing up the ball. And she gets on a ball screen right here. Obviously, we know that's too big of a gap and everything like that, but she's so committed to the pass that she ends up getting a turnover. Doesn't read it properly. Something we can work on in drills, but also I would almost be like, let's just not put her in those situations where she's the primary ball handler on a screen action. But all in all, I actually really like her. I think she's a solid player. Her being a sophomore, she has 2 years of eligibility left when she would come to us and everything like that. And lateral movement, box out drills, learning how to play in the paint and everything like that, be more aggressive, get lower base, so on and so forth, different things that we can put her in a more advantageous situation and to fight early instead of just letting people run around in the middle and everything like that. I would love to be able to put her in positions where she can have the ball a little bit more, not necessarily as the ball handler, even though she does okay at that, but just kind of get her more involved. And I really like her for a free flow offense or anything like that where we're trying to get a bucket. We're not really getting anything going. She does a really good job of moving around where she needs to move, and her communication is really great as well. So, but yeah, I'll go ahead and send you this. Let me know any other questions you have for me. Again, this is only half a game that I ended up getting, but I think it was pretty good what I felt. All right, thank you, Coach.